Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about making instruments from scratch, but more specifically I want to talk about making an 808 from scratch using a FL Studio native plugin 3X oscillator. I'm not going to talk too much. Let's just get right into it. So a lot of people sleep on this 3X oscillator or 3x oscillator, mainly because when you open up FL Studio for the first time, this has 0 presets. You have to basically create every sound that you want to use in this plugin. Well, I have created some, and I've been using this a lot, learning how to create other sounds as well. And now one of the sounds that I've been getting really into are the 808s, and this little plugin right here, I'm telling you, it makes some really good 808s. So I'll let you hear one that I've made already, and it's called Thugger. This is what it sounds like. It's a really good 808 kind of sound. We come down a little lower, you get. So you can use this to make a lot of different sounds, a lot of different instruments like pads, plucks, basses, and whatnot. I'm going to show you how I would make an 808, and hopefully you can use this to make your own kind of 808s and your own sounds. I'm not going to explain everything on the interface here in this video, but I will make a video that explains more about it so you get a better understanding of this plugin itself. But what we are going to start with is these oscillators here. So you do have 3 oscillators, hence the name 3X oscillator or 3x oscillator, and the second 2 you can control the volume, and the first one you can't control the volume. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and turn the volume down on these, and we're just going to start with the first one here, and we'll expand our sound from there. So I'm going to keep it here with this wave file, this sine wave file, and then I'm going to kind of bring this detune up just a little bit, and this basically gives it like a chorus feel. So you'll hear it before, and then once I move this, you'll hear the chorus kind of sound to it. Like it separates it, so it kind of thickens it out a little bit. The next thing I want to do is I want to take this knob here, chorus, which is basically the pitch of it. I want to bring it all the way down to 24 semitones. If you look down here in my hint panel, when I move this, it counts in semitones. So 12 semitones is 1 octave, and 24 semitones is 2 octaves. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to go and I'm going to take this pitch. It's set to 12 already. I'm going to bring it all the way down. So now we get a deeper tone. Then I'm going to kind of adjust this one now. So I'm going to make it this triangle sound, and then I'll bring the volume in on it a little bit. Let's go ahead and cut this down some to 24, and let's just kind of slowly bring the volume in. And you could bring it all the way in, or you can bring it, a little bit of the ways in, and it's gonna add more of a texture to it, like a distorted kind of sound to it. And I would just blend it in just a little bit till it sounds how I want it to sound. And then on the third oscillator, I'm gonna do the same thing. It's already set to 24. I'm gonna bring this one down a little bit on the detune, and then I'm gonna bring this in, and it gives us some more of that raspiness to it, some more of that distortion to it. And if you hit these lower notes, it's really starting to sound like a sub sound, a sub or 808 sound. And that's really all I'm gonna do in just this portion. There's so much more you can do, but for the tutorial's sake, I wanna keep it simple, I wanna keep it plain, I wanna keep it straight to the point. So next thing we wanna do is hit this tool again. We'll go right here to this little plugin settings, and now we have our envelope. This is gonna be where we shape the sound of our 808. So what I wanna do is I'm gonna cut that envelope on, and I'm gonna move this attack all the way down. And I'm gonna bring this release up some, just a little bit. I'm gonna bring this hold down, and we're gonna bring this decay out some. And now this is gonna be the tension of the release. I'm gonna bring that tension up a little bit. Let's kind of hear what we got so far. It's starting to sound a lot like an 808. Let's work on the decay. The decay is just gonna determine how long or how short of a decay we have, or the sound is. So we can turn our sustain down and keep this release up some. So when we let go, we still got a little something after it. I want to add a little bit of this LFO in here. I'm going to turn the amount up all the way. I'm going to exaggerate it just to start, but I'll bring it down to where I want it to be. But I exaggerate so I can really hear it. here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it a little bit faster. And I'm just gonna cut it down some. And that just kind of gives us a little bit of LFO to it. Now, in order to get that good old thump at the beginning that we all love, we got to go over here to the pitch envelope. We'll cut it on. What I'll do is I'll turn this attack down. I'll turn everything down. Attack, hold, decay, sustain, and release. I'll cut the amount all the way up. And then I'll take this decay and I'll move it out just a little bit. And once you hit it now, you start to get a little bit of that thump at the beginning, that smack. This is the key to giving it that good beginning smack or that good smack at the beginning of it. Now, if you want to make the 808 not have that thump and you want to leave room for like a kick or something, then you turn this all the way down, and this is what it sounds like. So this is good for when you have a really powerful kick, but you don't want the 808 to clash with that kick. But I'm gonna turn this all the way up because I want this to thump some. And let's cut the release up just a little bit. Now we got pretty much a good starter for 808 here. We can bring this release down just a little bit. And maybe some sustain down some more. And then we go over here to this tool. And now what I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to cut this polyphony up. The reason I do that for this particular thing is so that when I do like 808 slides or something like that, where they jump up and it's one over another, it doesn't really affect it. I'm going to just pick the two, so now two of them can play at the same time. But if you try to put a third one in there, one of the two are going to go away. We can cut the volume up on these suckers, make them a little bit louder. If you want it to really thump. And I think with this pitch, we need to bring this decay in just a little bit more. I mean, go back here. We could cut this modulation, or I'm sorry, this filter up some or down. And now we have a really good, clean, basic 808. And of course, you can save this preset by going up here to the top and then saving preset as. And you can save this as a preset. And once you do, you'll see it under your presets. But you can also go into Edison and record this into Edison and create a one-shot. So you can either leave it in a pack like this, a sound bank, or you can create a drum kit that uses this 808 that you created. But that's just one way to do this. You can create all kind of sorts of 808s and drums and snares and whatnot in, should I say basses, but you can create drums and whatnot in this particular plugin in FL Studio. So if you do want these sounds that I have created and the more that I will be creating, these will be in my next kit. This sound bank, all these sounds are going to be in the next kit, so make sure you do get that next kit. It hasn't dropped yet, but when it does drop, I will be sure to keep you updated, and make sure you just subscribe and you stay tuned so you don't miss out on when that new one does drop. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this helpful, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like these with plugins like this in FL Studio, make sure you subscribe. But I digress, and I will see you in the next video.